Nilay also.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, so like, what do you think that like we can make utilize? I mean, this particular running time, na, like these quantum computers, like where do you think that it will be useful, etc. And since these guys are like aware of these hardware, I have few doubts also, like regarding that.
Yeah. So let's discuss the hardware thing first.
Yeah, so to doubt I have is like one, there is like few doubts, like I was working on certain things also which could be useful for our project as well. So the first thing is, right now these quantum random number generators are mostly like hardware, like most of the implementations are like hardware ones. Like we have some like emitters or something like that, and they do like stuff on that. And like when I look into the architectures, it is like that. So um have you come across any simulation or something like that which actually converts the randomness of these qubits or these things in your using gates, like a quantum random number generator using gates? That is my question.
Like we'll have to see like circuit for that, Mahima. Like they are like we need to see how
Uh,
people have implemented on real hardware. And second being like this is IonQ, right?
No, my question
Okay.
really is like, what do you think is like, can this gates be used? Like, since you guys know very well about these gates, like, can these gates be used to actually utilize these randomness of these qubits? That is my question.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, definitely. Like we can have random.
How? Can you tell me? Like one example.
Like we have even those entangling gates and all. So like
Hmm.
there people have worked like coming up with QRNGs, which are gate based systems, like random nature. Like we can like we'll have to see, but I've seen people using like they like you can generate like a perfect randomness using various gates and all. Like in fact, I guess if I share my screen now, I guess you can see one.
Okay.
Yeah. Is my screen visible?
Yeah, it's easy to share.
Not yet for me. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is one where they are using gates, like basically entangling gates. Like I haven't read the paper, like I just googled right now. And if we see other literature, so people have used, it's not like they haven't.
I have gone through this paper. Like I want to actually understand the basics behind that. Like these like we can use a quantum computer to simulate it only, or can we use it into the real production, like real thing? That is my question exactly. I mean,
That like if you mean to say like if we can have them like a pen drive, like a product type, something like that.
right now, like if I have, let's say I have a project, okay, I can maybe use the supercomputers to actually run a particular task of it, and then I can take the output, and then I can proceed with my work. Like I can integrate those things, right? So similarly, like these quantum computers can be used for simulation only. Did you understand what I'm trying to tell? Like uh, uh, those like how these implementations are done, how they are being used in these projects, real time projects, these quantum computers. Like I might be very like a very low level question it could be, I don't know. Like I'm trying to learn like different possibilities of using these quantum computers and their computational power for implementation. Like if I need to build a complete project, see for example QKD, you cannot build a real-time QKD on a quantum computer. You definitely need a quantum channel, right? So did you understand
Yeah.
what my doubt is?
So basically, you mean to say is, if there is a possibility to develop QRNGs, just not the simulation where you run a simulation on your computer, take the output data, and then use it in your project, but rather a
Exactly,
real-time
exactly.
QRNG,
Like
use it,
sort of like a program, like software-based QRNG. It
which
will be
has
purely,
quantum computer as its backend.
yes, exactly.
I guess Abir, like you have like, I figured the thing.
Um, yeah, I mean, I sort of agree with this thing here that like we need a dedicated hardware for QRNG, but so I actually remember reading it somewhere that uh, like people are using. There was some company, I don't remember exactly, but they were using Google's quantum computer for like generating random numbers and like using them to then again like not really sure. I have to again find that article, but yeah, I mean, if we want like a dedicated system, then of course we need dedicated hardware for that as well. So, but again, I mean, I joined in the middle, so I kind of like don't have a full idea of what the discussion was going on about. So maybe if
Yeah, that was okay. Maima, this is Abir. Like we have a like hardware team person. Like
Yeah,
and
yeah, I know. I like
yeah,
Archit's friend, right?
yeah. Then okay, fine. Yeah, and Abir, that's Maima.
okay, hi.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So Maima, like, what are you like basically like for this related to this IonQ credit research, right?
Like a lot of targets are there. Like one is that, see, if we need to actually simulate the complete system, my one concern was that do we exactly need the chip to actually proceed with understanding what the final outputs will look like. That was my one concern. I'm able to see that these people are uploading into the cloud and all, but is that the real way? Like we call na I'm reading on it, like it is actually initial phase where I'm reading. So unconditional security can be achieved using these quantum random number generators, but these publicly available quantum computers, I mean, how can we utilize them to actually study the exact same effect these QRNG chips can generate? That was my like connecting point. Like without having a QRNG chip, will I be able to study and generate the similar effect?
I guess we can. Like Abir, what's it?
Uh, yeah, I think we can do that, but mm, like the only concern that I have is like it won't be like we won't be able to generate the random numbers very fast because like we'll be using something. Let's say if we use like the systems provided by IBM or something, then they will have their own queuing time and waiting time and all those things. So like that is something which is not actually like because of the quantum system, but because of the like this thing, the um, the cloud interface basically. So yeah, that's one concern. That's all. Other than that, I think we can still use it. Only that the rate of generation of random numbers will not be very fast. It will
Okay.
be like yeah around it'll be as long as like around 10 minutes because there is a lot of traffic nowadays in the quantum experience thing, IBM quantum experience.
Yeah, exactly. But right now we have an opportunity to use IonQ, right? Like maybe.
Yeah, correct, yeah. So yeah, maybe we can, I think yeah.
So
Mm,
that was one question. Then the next thing was like, how can we use these? Like, I believe you will be aware of these QKDs and all. Like, how can we actually use these quantum computers to simulate QKD? That is my next question. Like, when we look at like IBM's QSKIT implementation, they are simply telling like, okay, this can be repeated multiple times, and it ends up in actually having I mean generating the effect that we need. That is the only way we are implementing it there, right? Can
yeah.
we actually have some network, like have you read any papers like where they are actually having a network using these
Uh,
quantum computers?
So yeah, so the thing is, so if we are working with IonQ, there is a very high possibility that we can do it because let's take an example of QNU Labs. So it's a
Hmm.
startup from India, right? So they basically have implementations of B92 and BB84 protocols
Hmm.
on their photonics based system. So like they use light basically. So but we can achieve a similar thing with ions as well. So like in trapped ions, since the main the controlling unit is the lasers, so we basically shoot lasers on ions and the state changes and then we can do that. So since they are lasers, what we
Hmm.
can do is, so there are a couple of papers by IonQ itself and like the university is like associated with it. So there is Duke, there is the University of Maryland. So these universities have papers on that as well. So they are essentially working on creating like a network. So they will make small quantum computers like up to 100 qubits or something, and then all of them will be interconnected in such a way that they form a larger quantum computer. So maybe we can pitch like this that since we are using ions and ions trapped ion based quantum computers can be connected to a very large array of quantum computers, so we basically try to simulate that particular thing using our experiment in quantum cryptography experiment. So right now it's not available, of course, but in the future when it becomes available, just to have a particular software ready and work on it, maybe we can take that approach, and that we are proposing it for the future, and just a proof of concept we can show as of now, because it's almost the same things that happens in photonics, just that instead of photons we are using ions here. So
Hmm.
yeah, the ions don't physically travel, but we can make the information within those ions travel through like teleportation or something. So that's that's one possible solution.
Okay. Like since you have mentioned that QNU Labs, see there these QKD implementations are actually hardware, right? So we
Mm-hmm.
have a box which we actually connect, then we can actually study on the effects.
Correct.
Right now, I don't have a hardware box. Like I have this quantum computer. Like how do you think actually I can simulate these QKDs? Like can we connect it to like I don't know how this interface is,
Yeah.
like can we have multiple user ends or something like that, and then try sending from one end to another or something like that, and that, like, do you know?
Yeah, so that's what. So currently, the systems that IonQ have, they are only up to 11 qubits, and it's a single machine. Okay, it's not connected to anywhere else. But
Hmm.
in the future, since they are thinking to develop these kind of interconnected systems, so basically their approach is, since they are using just lasers to control these atoms, what we can essentially do is we can just connect two small quantum computers with a fiber optic cable, and then we can pass in the control signals, which is the lasers, through that. Okay.
Yeah, right now
So
it's not
yeah,
available
right now
also.
it's not there, but what we can pitch for is to simulate that kind of thing. Like, let's say, so they have 11 qubit quantum computer available. So maybe we can divide the 11 qubits into 5 and 5, and then we
Hmm.
tell them that
Yeah.
this protocol would be a bit better than like. Let's say I compare BB84 and B92. So I
Hmm.
can say say that if we have like two separate quantum systems connected by optical fiber, okay, we can try to prove somehow that which protocol would be the best for that scenario, and if it can be used for quantum communication. Because right now, I mean, there are not many people who have tried to do quantum communication related things on trapped ion systems. Mostly everyone is just like focused on photonics. So there are two approaches. Like I might be getting a bit technical here, but
No, tell me, I want to know.
yeah. So one approach can be like you connect two different trapped ion systems and then have some kind of communication channel between them.
Can we do that now?
Not now, that's what, because we just have access to their system and their system is only a single unit.
Oh.
But we can simulate that kind of thing. So one thing,
Like we will take 5 qubits, take the reading. How we'll do that? Like right now?
yeah. So right now, for simulating the thing, it'll be actually pretty similar to how we will do it on the IBM systems, like solid state systems. But like that's what. So that's where the second approach comes in. So this was the first approach, that we connect two things and we have a communication channel between them, two quantum computers. Okay, so we can simulate that. One option is that. Another option is like since the industry standard for quantum communication is photonics, so we can work on something which basically is like an interconnect between a quantum computer and a quantum communication channel. So like it converts the quantum information stored in the ions and encodes them into photons. Okay, so we can work on that particular way. So that interface is something which is like a major research area. So that is the second option as of now, that what I can think. So
Can you detail a bit more? Like I have some more to understand that. Like I did not get it fully. Like the second approach.
So second approach is like so let's say I have a QKD system, okay, and so QKD system can both be used to send classical information as well as quantum information, right? Right now, what QNU Labs is doing is we have some classical information in our classical computer. We connect the QKD device, and we have another QKD device at like with some Bob. So we are Alice, the other person is Bob, and we are basically sending classical information, classical bits encoded as quantum photons in the channel. But we can very well send quantum information as well through QKD, because it is like purely quantum in nature. So
Means like quantum information. You mean like
let's say a superposition state, instead of a single,
Okay.
instead of a 0 or 1 bit, we can send a superposition state as well through the like the optical channel, right?
exactly.
Yeah. So we can work on this interface, that we have the information. So our processing unit, that is the quantum computer of IonQ, we have this processing unit, and this processing unit is basically processing something, and it wants to send the data to some other processing unit, which is also quantum in nature. So there has
that
to be
we can simulate like
Exactly.
using one.
Yeah. So that we can simulate using one. The
Okay.
second thing is basically going one step deeper. So like converting like I mean, wait. Let me think how to explain. Sorry.
No problem.
Yeah. So like the main difference between the first and the second one is you are like. So let's take an example in the first one. The transfer of information between the two systems is happening through entanglement, basically. So like you are firing a pulse, you are firing a laser in the first one, preparing the state. Then you are firing a laser in the second one, preparing the state. Then somehow entangling these two, and then finally, like whatever changes you make to the first one, you get the changes in the second one. Okay. So this can be done using their their current system, like taking 5 qubits in like 2 registers, so this is like a theoretical concept. Whereas the second thing is basically like purely based on information transfer through like quantum communication. So since the industry uses photonics, so what we do is essentially we don't entangle the two systems, the Alice and Bob systems. We have a separate photonic channel between them. Okay, and we are just working on how to convert the quantum information present in the ions into quantum information, like encoding the quantum information onto the photons. Right, so that conversion interface to basically connect your quantum computer to a larger quantum internet, which works on photonics. So that is very easy in trapped ion as compared to like solid state systems like IBM Q systems or Rigetti or all these things.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was my thinking. Like, I hope I was able to explain.
Yeah, I have a lot to understand in this because right now, like my target is like I need to compare few of these implementations. Okay, I hope you understood like what I'm looking for. Like, how can I do it now? Like, and I want to utilize this IonQ's computer also. Like, how can we do that exactly?
So, if possible, can you please elaborate a bit more on the implementations, like what exactly you are doing?
See, like let's talk about our drone project actually. So
Hmm.
in that, what we have is actually like we have a base station, and we have a cluster of like a group of drones, and these drones are assigned with some mission ID and also some secret information. So what we are like having is like there is two stages, like before launch, then like on launch, and once the data is being processed, like 3 stages should be there. So before launching, we had a plan to actually like exchange a secret key, like a pool of keys and all, using a key that was transferred using QKD.
Okay. Okay.
So so we have an implementation of like QKD there, and we actually need to exchange a key using that. So to actually like measure the security of our system, we have to like expose our scheme to some certain attacks and all, no? So like we'll expose with an interfere, like we have to actually have some mathematical proofs on it. So when I'm looking at these QKD implementations and their like studies and all, most of them are based on these hardware things. Like as I've told, like these are hardware implementations, and they have the quantum channel and they are sending it and all. Like,
Yeah.
how can we actually simulate it using a quantum computer? That was one question. Like I have, can we do it? Like, how are the possibilities? Can we generate the same effects? Will that analysis be valid? Otherwise, we cannot go ahead and simulate this QKD exchange like on our own. Na? Like we will have to
Mhm.
have like photon emitters
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the class.
yeah. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, for this particular experiment, I'm actually not able to see any practical implementation on IonQ, to be honest. Like,
Hmm.
you need, like, I'm assuming like you will have a drone and you will have a ground station, and you will have some kind of optical like channel between them, some kind of laser based or something.
Hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, I don't think it's possible without dedicated equipment.
Okay.
Yeah, because at the end, like the simulation, what we do for whatever we simulate for this thing, so
Hmm.
it will be like it will be just the normal thing, like how we let's say implementing BB84 on IBM Q using Qiskit.
Exactly. That is not
So,
enough.
yeah,
We,
that's
we
not.
need at least like two quantum computers, right? We need
Yeah,
to
yeah,
send it from there to there. Only
yeah,
then.
yeah, yeah. So that's what. So maybe like what I was talking about was basically this kind of protocol that we can develop, and it's like a universal thing that like there are chances that people follow in future, like conversion protocols for conversion between trapped ion to photon and photonic hardware and all those things. But specifically for this idea, I'm not really sure how we can implement it and test things out, because it'll be the same as implementing it on IBM Q. I'm not seeing a difference here as of now.
So there is no like advanced hardware there, right? Only single computer we have. That's it.
Yeah, single computer, and I think they have two types of systems that they're ready to give. So one is their 11 qubit system. So that
Mhm.
like that has only so the qubits basically the logical qubits equal to physical qubits. That means one ion is equal to one qubit. Whereas the other system that they have 32 qubits in that, and they are like error corrected qubits. So like there are like 13 physical ions, 13 physical qubits making up one logical qubit. So that is a bit more powerful, and it's better. But still, like they haven't mentioned anything that they will provide the better system or they'll provide this one. So again, it's kind of and
Mm. I feel stuck also. Like I'm not because I'm like on these cryptographic side, and I'm not getting access to these hardware implementations anywhere right now. So if I need to actually test these like protocols, um, my like side angle of thinking was exactly like how can I use these computers to actually test. So if we can find an answer for that, then and as per Abir, we cannot, right?
yeah, yeah, that
But
is.
I feel disappointed. They have. I wish there was some connection between these ion Qs and IBM's computer, at least.
Yeah, but yeah, it is actually difficult to achieve that kind of thing as of now.
Exactly. Because like communication exchange security, if we need to analyze,
Yeah.
right now the only possibility is with playing with hardware, which I actually right now
So,
I do not have access. Like I have heard like I can go like maybe get an approval from ISRO somewhere and then try, but I don't know like how I can achieve that goal.
yeah.
I'm like, so
Yeah, I
I
think
uh,
like as of now, any of the quantum computers are not capable of networking per se. So I
like
don't.
can you just look into like I'm not able to find like much details. Can you like look into how we can utilize these quantum computers to actually study cryptographic effects like these random numbers and these QKDs and all? So if you can give me some
So
like
one
sparking points.
one thing that maybe I can think of immediately is like you can simulate errors that like get incorporated in the let's say cipher during the transmission through the channel. So
Yeah, like
generally,
attack
yeah,
simulations,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that is there. Like that we can do. Like post
Mm,
quantum cryptographic study, like we can do there. That is
yeah,
actually also part of our project. Like
mm,
actually, that is our next stage. Like once we have like launched these drones, then
mm,
they should be actually sending it back to us, right? So mostly there we are going to use classical channel. Not mostly, we are going to use classical channel. So
yeah.
definitely for that communication, we are planning to use post quantum cryptographic solutions like any of the NTRU based or something like that.
Okay, okay, okay.
So into that thing, we can maybe like study the attacks, like not all the attacks, like maybe the brute forcing of that or something like that, like NTRU strength on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
output generated, we can. But that is not enough, right?
Yeah, so that's what I am also able to think that, like, I mean, attacks we can do, and like random errors that come through the like channel, like let's say bit flips or phase flips or something like that. But apart from that, I don't think a quantum computer is very useful for cryptography purposes. We need specialized hardware for that. Then, like if you want to achieve proper like testing of things, then it's better to do with the proper photonic hardware rather than on a quantum computer, because I mean simulating will just develop algorithms. So like if it's some kind of practical and field testing that you have to do, then of course quantum computers are not good for that. So yeah, that is one bottleneck there.
I wish there was at least some way of actually using these quantum computers for QRNG development at least. Like we could.
So QRNG, I think we can propose that, but I think that it will be a very small utility, which like uh, like they might be wanting some kind of like some big project or something which like can be published, but QRNG is just like a very small part of the whole communication.
Exactly. They are looking into learning.
Yeah,
Like when
yeah.
we look into like computer science area, like they are focusing most on problem solving based on that computational part.
They are more towards like industry optimization problems, or like this drug development and all those things.
Hmm.
So that is one thing. But I mean this interface thing, like I'm not 100% sure if we can implement this thing using their system, but I mean the two options I told, it is still possible because it's fully simulation. It doesn't need any dedicated hardware as such. So maybe I don't know, like just a suggestion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, other ideas are also welcomed. So, yeah, if anyone has a better idea, of course, we can go with that. This is I like I myself accept that this idea that I gave, the two ideas, they were not really up to the mark. So
Guys, like I guess there is like either they look for a clearly research goal oriented projects, or whether your work has some like related to like, so which scheme do we want to fit ours, like the first one or this one?
Both.
Huh?
So we'll submit like two separate. I was also looking at this only. So we'll submit two separate proposals. So one is from pedagogical perspective, because we already have quantum cryptography within our fellowship, right? Like as a stream. So we'll say now we are gonna include this QRNG slash drone communication, or basically IoT is acquiring. See, we started with QRNG drone, but like we have been talking about, if you remove the drone component and you add any device, then it suddenly becomes an IoT secure project, right?
Quantum network basically.
Correct. Any node, right? Any signal emitting device on the other side, basically. So, so that's on the pedagogical side. And the first thing is, of course, the research goal, where we'll say, hey, we have come out with this scheme now. Now we want to test it out. And we can also, whatever questions we had right now, if it can be converted into a mail and we can put it out, they will appreciate that as well, right? So we'll submit both. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so like the pedagogical side, I guess we're very clear with it.
Yeah.
Like being on the first side, they said that they're especially interested in the proposals which involve this. So like
novel algorithms, no, we have a novel algorithm.
Yeah.
Applications research, yeah.
So like will like real hardware, we really can't have that quantum communication there, but I guess we can always come up with like, you know, some new type of protocol which Abir was talking about, or like even the MIMA which she told, like, you know, the cryptography, like what say like.
I think that's what we should discuss now. So Bhuvneshwari, you also had some questions, right? So if we can, for once, because it's very difficult to get everyone in one call, So if the scheme that we have developed can either Mahima or Bhuvneshwari, you can start with whatever you have understood, and then Mahima can pitch in so that we all are on the same page with respect to the scheme or the novel algorithm that we are developing.
One question actually I had. So the place where they mentioned novel algorithm, that means like for development of a totally new algorithm, right? Or
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
okay, yeah, that's all what I wanted to ask.
Novel
And
is
even,
anything new.
and even today, right? Like IBM has given access to IIT Kharagpur and University of Calcutta, like to their research program. And the
Yeah.
proposal of University of Calcutta was like they come up with an algorithm for colonization optimization or something like that. So
Got
they're
it.
focusing more on the algorithms, like
Yeah, because like not everyone can. I mean, quantum computers are not gonna become like typical our current computers, right? It's always gonna be like big research institutions which is gonna have that, and everyone else is gonna build applications on top of that. Like that's a given. So
At least for this decade, we don't know about
yeah,
after
at least for
that.
this decade, correct. Yeah, at least for this decade. I mean,
Yeah.
and I
like it's
also
only
don't.
yeah, like it's only until we discover a transistor analog of for quantum computer.
Good luck with that.
That's what new hardware is focusing on.
Yes. No, but that's like you invent that and you have a Nobel Prize in your bag. But yeah, like so, like I guess like I'm not quite that well versed with the quantum communication part, but I guess what we can propose from the research perspective would be like developing an hybrid quantum classical approach, because that is can be feasible, because they really talk about the work feasible now. So if we have something really very theoretical, so we should either have to have a real big boom in that, or if we are trying to involve hardware. And I guess in the current decade, if we develop in hybrid systems, they would really appreciate, because that will even advance their application.
Okay, anyway, so we'll see. Right now, the goal is to understand the scheme that we are developing and then position it as two different research proposals and get that thing done, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Bhuvneshwari, are you ready?
Yes, Sam. So I actually need like go through of the algorithm again, because it's been a while.
Okay. Can Mahima explain once quickly?
Yeah, because I already have a basic idea of it. I just need to go through again to refresh my thing again.
Okay.
Yeah, like before starting that, in our proposal, still like I don't have clarity like where directly we can use quantum computers in our proposal. That was actually my target of target I wanted to achieve with this. Like let me compare. Like if we take RSA project, like that breaking RSA project, we have a lot of areas where we can actually use these quantum computers. But for this one, it is having a different angle. We are actually implementing a lot of algorithms in this. Like, I hope I made sense, Sam. Sam, you there?
Yeah. I get it, but I think if you explain once, then probably Abir and Nilay can also pitch in with respect to that, where quantum computing can come in also, right?
Yeah. Okay. So in this project,
Just a second. Sorry to interrupt. So I actually wanted to ask Sam if anyone from the hardware learning circle has joined the meeting.
Oh yeah, Atul has joined. Yeah.
Atul. Okay. I don't think Atul is there.
Okay. Right. Also, today I have to use the Zoom for corporate meeting with the US client from 10:30 to 12:30. So if you guys can do it on
Actually, yeah. So that's what. So we were thinking of canceling today's.
Okay.
Like if someone comes, we'll tell them it's postponed. Otherwise, it stands postponed.
just put it in the group now that it's.
Yeah. We'll put it in. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt, Mahima. You can go ahead.
No problem. Done. Like I can.
Yeah.
Mahima, stage is yours.
Yeah.
See, in our target, like the drone project, we are not actually going to develop a new algorithm as such. Like we are not going to develop anything like BB84 protocol or a new QRNG generator, nothing like that. Our target is like maybe evolving and we can develop, that's different thing. Right now, we are actually like an application project. Like we have a very strong QRNG chip or whatever, we are going to adapt it. We have a very good QKD, somebody has tested and analyzed it, we are going to use it. Then like we have a very good post-quantum cryptographic based algorithm, which is actually very good at which can be used for very lightweight devices. Somebody has like we can take NIST post-quantum results, and from that results we can maybe identify one of the algorithms and we will use it. So I hope you understand, like we are actually taking different results and combining it. So this is actually a scheme development. So this is actually like multiple people are communicating, that is actually the drones, and we have to make it quantum safe. That was our target. So in that there is two things, like the mainly 2-3 things are there. Like the main one thing is that how these drones are being identified, how we are ensuring that the drones are authenticated, verified, etc. So that is one part of it. And the next part of it is actually how the data is being processed. The data, I mean, is actually the image. Okay. So the drones are actually, so in our project, we are not focusing on live transmission of data, like live means live streaming of the video. We are focusing on taking image and transferring it through our network. So like what we have to ensure is that the drones communicating in this entire communication needs to be authenticated. Even if they are hijacked, our system should not be compromised. Even if another drone tries to mimic some as other drones in the network, it should be able to identify. Then again, the complete channel should be both classical and quantum safe. So I hope till now it's clear, the targets. Any doubts?
No, Mahima.
No, Mahima.
Abir, okay?
Nothing from my side.
So now how we are planning to do is like there are multiple concepts there. So in that we have adopted the concept of pool key pool. So there is like studies behind that, the concept of key pools. Then we have identified the concept of like having session keys, like intermediately exchange keys. Then we have like a unique identification number, which is specific to the mission. So these concepts are embedded in that. So like overall, we'll have a set of drones. Okay. Now these drones will be assigned certain tasks, and we will have a base station. And this base station they'll definitely, these drones will have some hardware numbers, and based on these hardware numbers, like I did not exactly remember the step, like based on these hardware number, we will actually like identify and authenticate like physically. Okay, so physically they'll be identified, and after that they will be assigned a mission specific identification number. So whenever these people are communicating, it will be actually the combination of this ID, the physical identity. Like for example, we'll have a MAC address and the IP address, right? Similar to that. So, and this particular mission ID is actually given by the base station, allocated by the base station. Now we'll have clusters of these drones. Now under that, these in the cluster there will be a leader drone. Right now we have decided that the leader drone is decided by the like base station. Like we have not worked on deeply into that. So leader drone is actually decided by the base station. Okay,
Wait.
and
If it decides it will be a distributed consensus-based leader allocation dynamically.
like if we want we can say that, but we do not like decide on the algorithm that we are going to use and all.
Right?
That day last discussion I believe, like distributed, we thought about it, and there was a team, I mean somebody from the blockchain or someone came in, they listened, but the algorithm discussion didn't happen, right?
So what is hyperledger consensus? Okay. So I'm clear on that part. Okay. So from now on, when we are saying it out, we'll say that the leader will be dynamically chosen on a distributed network, basically a permission blockchain. So think of it something like Hyperledger Fabric. In the Hyperledger Fabric, the distributed consensus happens through multiple algorithms. So what we can use is probably Kafka and stuff like that. Okay.
Okay, so then the leader will be allocated. Now once the leader is allocated, the leader will like there is actually a key pool for one of each cluster. There will be a set key pool. This key pool is not available with the leader. Only the like participatory drones will have these key pools. And there is actually a concept called activity code, which is directly linked to the way we process the data. Okay, so this activity code will be given to the the leader. Okay, so leader will actually assign priorities and order for these individual like drones in the cluster. Okay, so I hope you understood the context. Like there is actually a key pool which actually the base station has given to the participatory drones. This particular key pool is not available with the leader. Leader will have information like once the data transmission starts. Okay, leader will only have information about what activity needs to be done by this particular priority person. So I'll like make sense, it will make sense after that. So they are going for the mission, and once the image is captured, these drones will actually authenticate themselves with these leaders, and then the leaders will actually give the activity code to them based on the priority. Now priority and the what should I say, the activity code allocation is actually within the cluster, and what activity needs to be done by this priority one will be assigned by the base station. So the base station will not be aware of the fact, or any, if you take up any of the intermediate communication, we will not be able to get the idea like which particular drone has actually has this piece of information. Only the base station allocation, like what information was supposed to be there, it is actually part of the activity code. Like this is actually the overview. If you want me to explain any of these points, just let me know.
I guess all good, Mahima.
Huh?
All good, all good.
Yeah, nothing from my side as well.
Go on, Mahima. I've understood too.
Yeah, so I guess that's it. Like this particular communication that we have make from the drone to the base station will be like the drones, the participatory drones will send the information to this leader using a key from the key pool. Now we have to understand that this key pool is not available with the leader. So even if the leader is compromised, because they do not have the key pool, like we cannot decrypt the information. So the entire key pool is like has to be available, first thing. Now even if we take one of the drones, we cannot utilize the information, because what needs to be done with the information that a particular drone has, that information is available only with the base station. So we isolated the recombining capability from the leader to the base station, and again the encryption of the data, the initial encryption is only shared by the base station and the participatory drones. It is not even available with the leader. So yeah, I hope it made sense.
Okay, Bhuvneshwari, any other questions? You're going to be working on the deck.
No questions, Sam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool, lovely.
Maima, I'll get in touch with you on WhatsApp if I've got doubts. Will that do?
Yeah, sure,
Yeah?
anytime.
All right.
We can get into calls anytime, not a problem.
Yeah, all right.
All right, now this proposal thing, who's going to take ownership of that? Two things, two separate proposals.
I guess like a technical one, like we all can, like first we need to see like from the cryptography algorithm.
There should be one person taking ownership, otherwise it won't happen.
For both.
We all will pitch in, okay? But then one person.
I get that.
Okay, so since no one accepted anything, I'm gonna say Maima will take care of the pedagogy thing, because Maima, you're already working on this Moodle course side. So you can add to that, saying if you give access to this, I mean, first draft, right? Like basically say this is what we are doing right now, but we want to use now IonQ to kind of improve the pedagogy by da 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 da. That's it. And
it can be we can put it in the like learning experimenting thing, right?
Yeah.
So we can write about the RSA project also inside that.
Yeah, the learning circle thing you're saying, right? Yeah, definitely.
Because I am very much like, I'm not able to find time actually. I'm very much interested in actually running those, because this is actually a very good opportunity to see optimization results of these gates actually.
Right.
But I'm not able to find time for everything right now. Actually, my guide has asked me to work on 3 papers. So I'm short of
all you have to do is guide Rutamra, Bhuvneshwari, and there is also Manohar, right? Rutamra?
Yeah.
No, actually he is not working because he has some interviews, so he did not help me in that.
Okay. No, but like if we guide and set deadlines, then like I can make him work. Don't know. But the point is, Maima, you don't have to come for every meeting. You just have to set weekly targets, which I can't do because I don't know that technical level, right? So there is a community. There are like people willing to work. You just have to guide them and say like specific targets for each of those weeks, and like have a 1-hour call with them every week. That's all you have to do.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. So Maima is gonna work on the pedagogy thing. Nilay, you wanna take up the other one? Of course, like Bhuvneshwari, Rutamra, everyone is gonna help. Okay.
But well, I guess like I'll need more insights from the cryptographic side, like
the new scheme thing. Okay, great. Bhuvneshwari, you are the point of contact for that. Okay, because you're going to be working on the deck. So you'll be able to come out with that novel algorithm. Let's see, right?
Okay.
well, that's a sarcasm.
At the end of the day, it's about telling a good
It's not
story.
sarcasm.
Sorry?
See, we cannot call ours algorithm. It is actually a scheme, because we are not developing an algorithm. It is like we are combining different algorithms, right? Because we are not developing a new algorithm there. That is actually a different task. That is exactly like.
I mean, it's semantics. That's how I'll say it, because an algorithm is nothing but step-by-step execution of something. So if you say step by step, this is how the whole scheme is gonna work, I will call it an algorithm. Okay, it's about narrative building. That's all. Okay. Uh,
Yeah,
so
because right now, in today's meeting, I got a bash on that. This is not actually in my one. I had a meeting for my third semester status. So like I named certain things in the paper point of view. Then he was like, "This is not exactly a scheme. This is not exactly that." This naming like things. That is why I remember. Because in cryptography, like you call that scheme, you call this algorithm. Like AES is actually an algorithm, but something that uses AES is not exactly like pure algorithm.
Okay.
But yeah, as you told, it's actually just steps.
Yeah, it's steps. It just that we have to stand our ground, and I mean, anyway, first draft, right? Let's work on it. Bhuneshwari, work on that, and then let's all have a target of. So today is Wednesday. By next Wednesday, let's have the first draft ready. We'll all come together like this next Wednesday, 9 o'clock. We'll discuss that. And if modification has to be done, we'll take one more week because by June 15th is the last day, right, Nilay?
Yeah.
It's June 5th, I guess.
Holy shit.
15th.
Okay.
Yeah.
15
it is.
Yeah.
Let me
I also
check
remember.
again.
I remember 15.
It is 15.
Yeah. Okay, so we are clear on that. Bhuneshwari, are you clear?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Maima, already we have like 80% of the pedagogy thing done. Just that we have to add the RSA thing also into that and put a draft into that. If you can, if you need help, you can always take Rutamra's help. Like, look, she's already asked what is my task. So you just have to work with her and tell her what to do. That's all.
Sam, one sec. Like the project thing, right? The drone project we are writing for this.
Yeah, Bhuneshwari is writing the drone project thing. Maima's writing the pedagogy thing along with the RSA thing that we were doing, the optimization of RSA algorithm.
Yeah, but didn't we come to a point in this meeting after discussion that like drone project thing, like that thing would be like a bit tricky to implement using the real hardwares now?
Yeah, it is. But then like we have to suggest something to IonQ, you know, like why we are going to be using IonQ's platform.
Yeah, but that question was that like given a scheme, like the hardware implementation, like that's what I guess even got Maima's doubt got cleared. So then we insisted it on implementing some, like that's the major issue, like because it should be kind of something feasible. Like if you're talking about real that quantum network thing, that can be a bit overestimation of it, like the condition now.
So what else do you suggest?
That's what I guess we should find out in this meeting, because you can't actually implement the entire quantum network down there with the IonQ.
Yeah, exactly. You can't, right?
So so proposing that would be violating their something feasibility.
So what I'm saying is, anyway, we have to create the deck and other things for our presentation. Okay. So like we can't completely deny it can't be used, right? Maybe in certain areas where simulations can be used, we can test it out. So what I'm saying is, let's look at the deck once more and see where exactly, if there is again a possibility of using IonQ. Otherwise, we'll think about another thing. Right now, there's no other option, right? What else can we propose?
Maima, RSA, like can we have some pitch in that, something new?
RSA, for breaking RSA and their optimization, definitely we can use IonQ computers, exactly. Yeah, for that it is useful. Study on that optimization, definitely we can use it.
I mean,
But this one,
RSA,
again, we are actually like going to like switch between those two topics. I don't want to do that. That is why I did not directly bring in back. I was actually trying to clearly understand where we can use this IonQ computer. So from what I understood is, like we can have experimental study. That is what we can call, like
Mm.
experimental study of QKDs, experimental study of QRNG, experimental study, like something like that. So you can call it that way. It will not be like, from what I understood. But again, what also what I'm hoping for is actually better collaborations maybe in the future, like very near future. I, as Abir has also mentioned, if we have these small chotu computers, from them itself, if they are interconnected, we'll have a better way of simulating these. So if that comes up, then it is very good. So right now we can only do like, if for example, if you are into computer science background, you will know, like if we actually simulate a TCP on a single system, what we are doing, it's not actually the communication, right? We cannot test how much overhead has happened, what are the issues that can come in during the transmission. We cannot test on any of that. We can simply see how it works. We can simply do like a lab cycle. That's it. So you can say that you want to do experiments on this, you want to study that, how it behaves, how it runs, that way.
So Maima, that's what I put in the deck, the paper, right? What I have to work on, an experimental study of this.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can
Yeah.
like not need not be the direct word, need not be that experimental study, but angle, I mean, is to understand that we have some knowledge on how it can work, because it should not look like we have simply written something which is not possible also, right? It will look weird. It will be like we have not even understood the feasibility of what is possible in that computer. It will look stupid to them. They have did you understand what I'm trying to tell?
Yeah, I do.
So it should look like we know, but we are trying to do something with their, if we get access to their research credits, maybe if they improve their system with multiple systems, we can utilize that or something like that. Let's see.
So that's why, like, let's come out with the first draft, and then we'll all sit and discuss. So Bhuneshwari,
Yeah.
you also have a look at IonQ's features that we can use and stuff like that, right? It's not just about the current scheme that we are doing, but also how it fits into their ecosystem, or how we can leverage their ecosystem.
Yeah, I already opened 2 tabs for IonQ,
Okay,
so
okay.
there's a
Great, great.
conversation.
Lovely. And Ritamra, please help Maima in the pedagogy thing. And also, now, like correctly Nilay pointed out, let's also do one more thing around the RSA thing. Okay. Like specifically around RSA. But again, in RSA, are we coming out with a novel algorithm?
No,
Or
we want
optimization?
to study the optimization. There is one
Optimization.
category in that itself.
Okay, okay, cool. So Maima, you guide Ritamra as to how that can work. So basically 3 drafts we'll have by next Wednesday.
Actually, I have already submitted one as a scholar.
Okay.
So I have my CUSAT account where like I'm actually a faculty. So I have a faculty account also. So should I use that or I'll use my Gmail? Because if we are actually faculty, the chances of these pedagogical based things is higher, I guess.
Right, right.
But I guess that will go to like Sam's, like we have the official demo of QCI, or we usually use the Gmail one only.
No, we have an official email ID also. Yeah.
That, I guess then that will be great, right? Like from the community, it's going and they can see our website. So
Okay, one step at a time, guys. Let's talk about the first draft for next Wednesday. Then we'll think about what we'll use to submit and whatnot. Okay, one step at a time.
yeah. So I guess.
Chalo. Also, I'm like trying to wrap up this meeting because the people wait to break out.
Yeah, we got them.
Okay, not breakout, waiting. Chalo. So Wednesday, Ritamra, you're clear. Bhuneshwari, you're clear. Maima, you're clear, right? What we are to. So basically, one drafts of each of the things that we are going to be submitting, and then we'll sit together and we'll modify that, and we'll see using what account we'll submit and what.
And I guess like major point we need to focus like the last I guess would be like why IonQ, and we can show a
Correct, correct.
comparison. Like
Yeah,
if we use some IBM or some other where
Yeah.
IonQ has an advantage. That's all.
So which
It's
means
just
you have to go
500
through their
words.
documentation also. Sorry, go ahead, Mahima.
No, it's just 500 words abstract that we have to submit. Like,
Oh, that's all. Okay. So
Yeah.
just one page.
Then it's okay.
but we can actually give a Google Doc link. They have mentioned that if you actually want to provide more details, you can create a link to the Google Doc also.
Then
So-
we'll do that. Yeah. So anyway, we have to make the deck. Yeah.
So Sam, how many words should my first draft be? 500 or?
Yeah.
Don't limit it.
Don't limit for now. Okay.
Yeah.
And,
All right.
let's meet next Wednesday and then we'll decide.
So,
Cool.
yeah.
Sam really wants to.
No, right now I had suddenly now we have 3. Who is drafting those? That was my actual question. Like I'll have to draft both RSA and the pedagogy one, right?
No. You are drafting pedagogy one. Rutamra, you just Rutamra will draft the RSA one. Rutamra, cool. You'll be able to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess I'm like Mahima, that the pedagogical one, Rutamra with the RSA with Mahima. Bhubaneshi does this drone project thingy, and Abir and me, we can incorporate via IonQ hardware and add on to it. That's all. Done.
Nice. Say that again, Nilay. Who Mahima is doing the RSA?
Mahima and Rutamra are for that the pedagogical one and the RSA one together.
Correct.
Bhubaneshi does this drone project, and Abir and me will pitch in both. Like will basically show why IonQ has a advantageous hardware and where it's better for us in the project when compared to others.
Cool.
Yeah.
By the way, Rutamra has summarized like 10 papers, the initial literature review into a separate Word doc. Okay, that's done by the way.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right, hello guys. See you coming Wednesday, 9 p.m.
Bye, guys.
Meanwhile, we'll all be in touch on WhatsApp and Discord. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.